So we're here at CES 2022 in the e-mobility area, and it's really cool. We ran into Sonny Vu. Superstrata is the bicycle. And tell us about this carbon fiber customized printed bicycle.
We're at Advanced Manufacturing Technology Company. The mother company is AREVO, and we make carbon fiber composite parts at scale, large parts at scale. And so to kind of demonstrate it, we decided to print a bicycle. And so we launched a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo a year and a half ago in, I think it was July 2020. We thought we'd sell a few hundred bikes, and they ended up getting over 4,500 backers, which was just not what we expected. And so we've been just playing catch up to print this and get it shipped over the last year and a half. But yeah, it's a 3D printed, additively manufactured carbon fiber composite bike. The whole frame is Unibody. It's printed as one piece. It comes out of the printer as one piece. And we have to sand it and prime it and paint it afterwards. But it's super strong. One, because it's unibody. The second is because it's thermoplastic. So most, if not all, composite bikes I know of are thermoset carbon fiber composite, which is light, but it's very brittle. This is light but very tough because it's thermoplastic. It's just a different material, really a second generation of composite in a sense. We also print the fork. We brought a bunch of them out here, 8 to 10 of them or so to the show. And we brought all the e-bikes because it's an e-mobility event. And just been having a bunch of people come by to ride them, try them out. I guess the most important thing about it is the fact that every one of them are customized. So each one of these is actually custom printed. So we take the person's biometrics, height, weight, wingspan, your inseam, how long your legs are. Basically, we measure as much as of your body as we can, and then we take that data and generate the shape of the bike for you. Some people want a more aggressive stance, some less aggressive, and so every shape is different for every person's, every customer's requirements.
And that really points to the whole idea of mass customization, right? Because you're doing this at a relatively affordable price, right?
Yeah, no, it's that's the benefit of additive manufacturing and 3D printing in general, is you can make something different for every person. And so that's quite a unique benefit. I mean, literally from the moment you click on your order and pay for the bike, our algorithms will generate the size, the shape, and the size, and the painting, all that. And so every bike really is a bespoke bike. And so for a custom-made carbon fiber bike made just for you, the bike is $2,800, $2,799, and then for the e-bike starts at $3,999. And it really depends on the components that you get. You get nicer components. The bike's lighter, but it's also more expensive. But that's up to the customer.
Is this the type of thing too where a bike shop could maybe custom order the frame for you and then they do the final assembly type of thing?
We haven't thought about doing that, but we'd be open to it. I mean, like I said, we're an advanced manufacturing technology company, so our focus is making the structures. The components and assembly. We do that as well. We have experts in-house that do that, but that's not our core.
Right. Well, let's talk about your core, because I think that is, this is a manifestation of some of the cool things that are coming. So tell us about some of those things.
Yeah, so our core is being able to make large, complex composite parts very quickly and at scale. So, we've got software that helps automatically design the structure, which is not trivial, actually, because it's an anisotropic material, which means the properties of the material, in this case strength and toughness and whatnot, is dependent on the orientation of the material. So along the axis of the fiber, it's very strong. When it's not, when you talk about shear force, not so strong, unless you put the fibers in that direction, right?
So you have to kind of weave them or something?
We just lay them out in the direction where you need strength. Okay. So in a sense, you get actually a lot more strength than like a fabric. So like a carbon fiber weave that you see, that typical crisscross weave, it's great, but it's that's crisscross. So sometimes you want all of the strength in one direction. We can do that. And so we do that for Superstrata. That's how we achieve the strength that we can get.
What other kind of components are you guys manufacturing?
We started with doing a lot of aerospace stuff for drones and whatnot, and actually we decided to shift over to the consumer. Bikes, e-bikes, other types of electric vehicles. We're doing some automotive parts. Still doing a lot of drone stuff, drone parts. So basically anything where you need very high strength to weight ratio, and you need it right away. Because setting up a composite line takes a lot of effort. You got to get the molds and the autoclave and the pattern cutting. It's pretty complicated. Whereas for us, we take the CAD, the files, and we'll print it. There's some conversion process needed. It's a little bit of engineering, but generally we can, if we have a good CAD, we can generally get something printed within a day or so. So there's no way you can set up a composite line and get a sample part in a day. It's usually, a year. So it's...
and you don't have the tooling costs and those sorts of things, right?
Yeah, no. We might have a couple of support structures that we need to make if it's a complex shape. But generally, there's no tooling involved. And so it's kind of instant on. A lot of bike folks have come to us to print their bikes. That's our main business, is printing stuff for other people. Superstrata really is a demonstration brand.
Right.
It happens to be a brand that we love because we love the design. So we're printing for other folks.
That's really cool, and it just seems like it's kind of a new world because you're not really wasting materials when you do this, right?
That's right. And you're also not wasting capital and space, because when you're making things just in time, literally just in time, truly just in time, you're saving companies capital that gets locked up in inventory. Have dealers come by and say, "Can you ship us some bikes?" We'll say, "Well, what size?" "One of every kind." Well, we don't have sizes. Right. A bike that we make for you is going to be very different from a bike for me, even though we're actually similar in size, but our preferences will be different.
And so from a distributed manufacturing standpoint, it sounds like you're doing some manufacturing in the U.S. and some in Vietnam, but do you see more localized manufacturing with your techniques? Yeah,
absolutely. That's another benefit of additive manufacturing, and this is why, I think the dream of additive manufacturing at scale really is a breathtaking one, because now we can bring manufacturing back home, back to America. That's the dream. Is we're starting in a sense, we started in the U.S. We scaled up our first print farm in Vietnam. We'll be building our next farms in Europe and in the U.S., probably the Midwest somewhere, probably not in the coast, but somewhere where we can get stuff shipped very quickly. But yeah, absolutely. We're going to build our next farms in the U.S., and these will be printed, assembled in the U.S.
Well, that's great, and it's really great to meet you in person and to get this update. So thank you.
Well, thanks for coming.